New Superman movie coming out. And the Superman movie might be starring a black actor. And they're thinking about Michael B. Jordan. I have not seen one good Superman movie. I don't like any of them. They all suck. So hey, if you want to give a shot at a brother to play Superman, why not? What do we have to lose? There's been no good ones. I think, what was the first? Christopher Reeves. I think he played the original Superman. Like,
as far as I know,
that one was okay, but everyone after that sucked. It was trash. They could make Superman Indian for all I care. Let's give Bollywood a shot at it. It's gonna be better than what they've been doing before. What are your thoughts?
This character already exists, the Black Superman. He already exists. In the DC world, they create this thing called the multiverse.
Yeah.
It's how they allow these multiple superheroes to exist, multiple Flashes, multiple Captain Americas, whatever. So in one of these multiverses, there is a character who is a Black Superman who is also the President of the United States.
Why not?
And his name is, I believe it's
Obama.
Calvin Ellis.
Okay.
You know, it's funny that you said that. It's funny that you said that because no joke, no cap, the character is based off Obama. Like the guy who created the character said, "What do you mean? Of course he is. How do you figure just of course he is?
Why not? Go ahead.
It's a black character and he's the president, so it's got to be Obama.
I mean, can you name another one?
It's the only one. It's the only one we got.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the only one we got. So the full story is that Michael B. Jordan actually went and pitched this idea to the studios, and it kind of went stale after that. Nothing really happened. But now it's starting to brew up because the director they just released a Justice League movie just recently, a 4-hour Justice League movie, the Zack Snyder edition. So they want him to do something with this Superman, and this is why the idea is kind of being passed along of let's try something different. Let's try the Black Superman.
So, viewing public, what say you? Are you interested in this? You know, a lot. I think a lot of women are gonna want to watch this movie, just for the simple fact that homie's in it.
My twin. People say that we look alike still, so that's why I'm excited to see it as well.
Anyways, so a lot of women are gonna watch this movie.
Wait, I don't know why you're laughing.
I don't see the resemblance. A lot of women are gonna want to watch this movie. I don't think a lot of brothers will watch it. I ain't gonna front. I'll check it out too. Let me know what your thoughts are. Leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Maybe we will get just one good Superman movie.
Hey, and Michael B. Mom says what up too, yo.
This guy refused to let it go. April 6th, mid-season, Nick Cannon is back in the building?
Because I read the headline and I said, oh shit, they brought new episodes. When the hell did they film? April 6th. I just heard that they were coming back. Like, has it been a month since I heard that they were coming back? How did they get these news up? Apparently, these were episodes that they had filmed already. These were episodes from when they canceled Nick Cannon. They had episodes left over that they had not aired. And it's not just a 1-2 episodes. You're talking about... They listed the guests that will be featured on the remaining episodes. Please.
We got Juvenile, The Brat, Rhapsody, MC Light, Queen, Naja, Big Tigger, OMB, Prezi, Fabo, Young Jock, and many more to make it.
Oh, sorry. That's many more.
Yes.
I feel that they were being so petty because if they released those episodes, Nick Cannon would still have to get paid.
Yeah. They'd rather keep them.
They would rather shut down this $1 billion giant than see Nick Cannon get the pennies that he probably gets from the shows. I don't know what he gets, but I know that the place that makes it probably gets more than he does. Is all I'm saying.
This is the thing, man. When you start something from scratch, as Nick Cannon did, and then it gains popularity and it starts to become profitable, and then naturally wants to get picked up. This could be in any industry, but we'll just keep it TV. Naturally, and it gets picked up. They're gonna pay you really well, but unless you are, and I don't know if he is. Please, viewing public, correct me if I'm wrong. Unless you're one of the heads at the table, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not willing to negotiate with you. Like, I don't even want to have the conversation. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
no, I get what you're saying.
Like, don't make me just a player. especially when I invented the league. Don't make me a player. I want to be part owner. You know what I'm saying? So shit like this can't happen. So I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't have brought that to that table unless I had unless I'm getting some seats in the owner's box. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so let me give you a situation, right? Obviously, I'm talking about the future when this thing is worldwide and we're doing our thing. We're getting money from it, and we get approached by a studio who wants to put us on their channel, on their network, right? What is the maximum percentage that you would be willing to give in order to make this deal happen? What's the most that you would be willing to give in order to make a deal like this happen? And let's say that they're offering us whatever, $30 million.
5%.
There you go. The most you would ever give up of this entire thing is 5%.
So again, we're not talking about particulars, right? All we're talking about is simple math. We're not talking about anything else. So if all we're talking about is simple math, I say 5%.
It would have taken longer.
Yeah.
But obviously it is possible.
Of course.
Something like this is an opportunity where it allows you to build faster. So it's really just about what you want to do.
You said one time that a lot of people, the only reason why people start a business is to sell the business. Because if somebody wants to buy it, it's clearly worth something. And I've already put in so much sweat equity into it. Why would I do that? And if somebody says to me, well, hey, I can help grow your brand and take it to here, there, and there, cool.
Because it comes to a point where you build something to the most of your abilities. Because Nick Cannon had money when he started this. There was no social media, so it would have been more difficult because it would have literally had to have been a TV show that he put on. There's no Instagram, IG Live or anything of that thing, right? So he would have had to put on, and he did have a little bit of coins, so he could have started this by himself. But somebody approached him, gave him an easier way, took a small percentage, and I don't know how that percentage worked out, but it obviously eventually worked out to the point where they raped his ass and took more of it.
Well, what I'm trying to tell you is we talked about NBA YoungBoy doing stupid shit and getting arrested after watching so many rappers go down that same path that led them to the position he's in right now. And we're like, why don't you ever learn?
Right.
So I got to tell you, Dre, I've learned. From all the other people's mistakes, I've learned. No, thank you, ma'am. I'm not calling you ma'am, but no, thank you, ma'am. I'm good. No thanks, I'm good.
Everybody needs that help eventually at some point.
Not
How much
really.
are you willing to sacrifice?
Not really.
Everybody does.
I don't think so.
Everybody does. Every artist signs a deal at some point.
Yeah, but
every comedian is looking for a TV show.
I really think it just depends on what it is you want. Like, when you say everybody, it depends on what it is you want. Like,
you want to be, if whatever it is that you want to do, you're right, it does depend.
It depends on what you want.
If your goal is to be the best at whatever you do, or to be number one at whatever you do, then these type of things are necessary. These partnerships are necessary, I feel. There's nobody that I can see in history who you could ever say is number one, and it was just them, like literally just them.
Well, but the thing about it is you're in a different space. Like you said, you're in a social media space right now.
So when you sign the deal, there's a full contract that outlines everything that's involved. The percentage is just what comes with signing that contract. So everything that's in that contract, we have to agree to as well. You do know that, right?
Yeah, but you also understand that there's
something in there that. Okay, go ahead.
You also understand that. See, this is the thing, and I understand the point that you're trying to make. It just has to be in the paperwork. But anyone, just YouTube this shit. Anyone, especially when it comes to the entertainment industry, anyone will tell you there is shit in your contract that you sign that is literally designed to make no sense.
Loopholes,
not even loopholes.
The linguistics is very vague, so it can be determined in different ways. I know how contracts
exactly.
I know how contract manipulation works.
So in other words, you could get the best entertainment lawyer in the entire world to look over your contract, and then you think everything is sweet, and then 10 years later you still get fucked. You'd be like, how is that possible? I had da-da-da-da. No, you still get fucked.
And I get what you're saying. Yes, they can put something in the contract, da-da-da-da-da, but not if we're the ones providing the contract, which you have to understand, we're the ones with the leverage. This is something Nick Cannon didn't have. He didn't really have this type of leverage because, like we said, we have the benefit of being able to be on YouTube, being able to just put this out there, and it doesn't cost us anything. When Nick Cannon was doing this, there would cost money to put him on the show. But that's exactly a different space. We're clearly at a different space than Nick Cannon was. But when it comes down to popping off and getting to that next level. That's what I'm focused on right now. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
right?
there's like I said,
there's obviously more leverage. There's more leverage on this side now. Nowadays, there's more leverage. There's no more of those Nick Cannon deals where you can be pushed out, because by the time we're at a level and you're approaching somebody with all of the leverage, they're not taking anything.
But isn't that what happened? Isn't that what happened with Joe Budden and academics with Complex? Isn't that what just happened with Joe Budden and Spotify? And this is in the social media. Isn't that what literally
I don't know the
just
details
happened?
of the Spotify thing, but according to Joe Budden, he's the one who backed out of his Spotify deal.
Yeah, because they weren't properly compensating him and splitting the bread. This is what I'm talking about.
So then he got out the deal, but he got a little change before he got out the deal. He got to keep it.
Point? This is what I'm trying to say.
It's to expand, and their goal ultimately, anybody who does this, the clear goal and the only goal is to expand your audience to somewhere where you possibly could not reach yourself. These networks, these TV shows, whatever it is that they have an audience already. Places that you may not be able to go to.
Why?
Places that people might not watch you. Because people might not know about us in Louisiana, because we don't have ties to Louisiana.
But eventually.
Maybe.
What I'm saying to you, Dre, is like a company. This is the internet.
If somebody already has that market, though, Chris. If somebody already has that market,
this is not drugs. This is not drugs. It's not like you can't slang on that block.
What I'm saying.
What are you talking about? It's the internet.
What I'm saying is, yes, you can play that game of sit back and build and do the slow build up, and eventually we'll get to this spot. Or this person already has the spot. They want to make a deal with us where we might benefit more from the deal than they will. They just want content for their platforms, so people will watch their platform.
Yeah, it never works out that way. See, this is what I gotta be honest.
You gotta get out of it. This is just like you and the U.S. and not wanting to go to the U.S. Man, it's just
I guess I gotta be honest. I don't understand.
That's killed it for you.
I don't understand how you can say what you said about NBA YoungBoy, right, and then sit here and have this stance on this conversation we're having. There's been so many examples where people get fucked, and you're like, nah, man,
I know,
my asshole is good. What are you talking about?
Did I not switch it up when I said? That's why I had to bring up the point, because you had a good point when you said that. But the deals that they were making at those times,
these deals are
the ones
still
that you're talking about,
happening.
These deals that you're talking about right now. But there's also all the deals that you're talking about are bad. There's just as many good deals. So why not focus on any of the good deals at all? Like they don't exist and all of them are bad. You think
hold on for a second.
You think Drake has a bad record deal currently?
Yeah, I do.
Drake signed a record deal.
I think Drake is lazy. If he went independent, he'd make way more money.
His Young Money, I don't even know if he's still on Young Money. Is he still on Young Money? He probably is.
I don't know.
Who knows?
I don't know. But all I know is if he was independent, he'd make way more money. And then, secondly, you're making it sound like I would never sign. I literally, one of the first things I said. No,
you're just focused on the negative.
No, one of the first things I said is the most I would give is 5%. And the only reason why I said that is because we're just talking numbers. There's no other particulars involved. So if you said, if somebody offered you $30 million, what would you be willing to give up? I said 5%. Unless they said, to be honest with you, man, we just found 30 million in our couch cushion, and then we threw it, and then we just did a random search on YouTube, and we said we're going to take 30 million and invest in any company. Then I'd be like, oh shit, I guess we're really not that poppin'. This is a once in a lifetime chance. But what are the odds of that happening? No. If somebody wants to give you $30 million, there's a reason for that. So I feel like I have a little bit of leverage at this point. I feel like you're not the only people looking at me. If I'm saying, all right, 5%, and you're saying no, 10, I'd be like, all right, unless you're giving me some other shit, deuces.
Nigga, I've always been taught that 50% of a large pie is better than 100% of a small pie.
You're crazy.
I'm not crazy. That's anybody who is watching right now and just heard me say that makes perfect sense to them, except for you, and it's not your fault. It's just because of the type of person that you are. That's all it is. You just think different.
Yo, put it this way. Let me say this one other thing, and let me show you how different I think. Okay, I would rather make $1 million with my homie, somebody I grinded it out with, than
Right.
10 million with a nigga I don't even know. So yeah, that's my line of thinking.
100%. That's and there's nothing wrong with your thinking. But if it comes to expansion, and there's places that you can't touch, I'm just saying.
All I'm saying, nigga, is I hope your booty hole real tight.
We're not going to agree on this.
I hope your booty hole real tight, cause they coming for it.
You just all you do is focus on the negative. That's your
They
problem.
coming for it, man. They coming for your
deals
booty.
out there. There's just as many good deals out there as there is all these bad ones that you're talking about. So,
all right, Dre. All I know is when they tapping that ass. Remember, I told you.
Okay. All right. Well, guess what? I'm gonna make sure I put that in the contract. No ass tapping. How about that?
Yeah, there'll be some lube pull in there for sure. Keep telling you that I have no intention, no motivation to go to the U.S. This guy keeps saying, why?
Yeah,
I have nothing against the actual people that live there. It's the government. It's the police. That's why I don't want to go there. You know, I don't want to go on vacation and potentially die, right? Just for being black. And of course that can happen here in Canada. It's just I feel like the chances are higher in the U.S. Now, to the point. In Georgia, they have literally stripped. You look like us. They have literally stripped your real. I don't want to say right to vote, but they made it extremely difficult. Bro, if you even give water or food to someone waiting in a long line to go vote,
right,
it's a misdemeanor now.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, now to vote, you have to. It's after 5 p.m. Most people work till 5. Excuse me, up until 5. Most people work till 5, so you got to take a day off work. But the major thing that I'm talking about here is, obviously, since you guys have been living under a rock, you know that Donald Trump was leaning on Georgia super hard, saying, "Yo, nigga, I just need to find a couple thousand votes. Just find me them votes." You know what I'm saying? And obviously, that's a crime. But the bill that they just passed just made this shit legal. So, what I'm saying is, what they're trying to do is disenfranchise the voters who would typically vote Democratic, right? And they're mostly people that look like me and you, black people, right? So now, let's just say, for example, that the next election comes around and all the niggas, they just get together and they're like, you know what? Fuck these Republicans. Fuck you guys. I'm taking a day off work. We're voting our ass off. We ain't even mailing it in. We going in person. So this way, no matter what, you guys can't say throw out mail in, no nothing. We were there in person. They could even videotape themselves like this is the person I'm voting for, and everybody post their videos. Like, undeniable, basically, that the votes are legit. The law, and this is a law, this is not a maybe, the law that they just passed in Georgia is if all those crazy hypotheticals that I just said happened, people videotaping themselves voting, they could literally just be like, you know what? We don't like the outcome of this, and throw the votes out. And it's all good, and just give it to the other guy. This is a law they just passed.
Let's call it for what it is, man. They looked at the election that just passed. This is exactly what happened. They looked at the election that just passed. And Atlanta, there was a lot of things that would have went wrong in Atlanta that didn't go wrong in Atlanta because of Stacey Abrams. A lot of people had problems because they couldn't understand the language of the voting thing and how to register exactly. Some people would go to the wrong places to register. Some people decided just to mail in their votes. You know what I mean? Because they couldn't make it to the polls on time. All of those things that I just mentioned are now illegal. All of those things that I just mentioned are now illegal in that bill. If a voter goes to the wrong poll, that vote does not count. If it is mailed in to the wrong district, or the timing is wrong, or the form is filled out wrong, those do not count anymore. So they looked at every single thing, and I listened to the whole video you sent me. It's like 17, 18 minutes.
Right.
I listened to the whole fucking thing because I wanted to make sure I got everything down and understood before I came back to you with something on this. And all I heard was everything that black people did, we're going to make that illegal in this state. So next time, if Trump decides to run in 2024 and these things occur again, which they probably will because this is 4 years away, Let's be real. Nobody's educating anybody in between elections of how to do this shit, right? They can take those votes and discount them. On top of that, if they don't like the person who gets voted, which this part I don't even understand clearly, if they don't like the person that gets voted in, they can actually change that?
Yes.
Did I say that properly? Did I phrase that
Yes.
properly? I did, right? I didn't
Yes.
hear it wrong, or like
Yes.
I didn't switch it up in any way.
No,
That is what
they can
said.
literally do that now. It is not a maybe. It is not a, well, let's see if we can get away with it. This niggas be like, yo, let's get rid of this shit. We're gonna give it to the next guy. How?
Okay, Atlanta. And you know what? I don't wanna put down Atlanta, but it is one of the most highly black populated states. Right? So these are all things that I've illustrated that were problems that black people had in a largely black state, which is highly critical to somebody becoming president.
This is what I'm saying. So even if you're like, all right, well then you guys are gonna play that ball, then I'm just not gonna vote anyways. They're gonna be like, all right, good, save us the trouble.
How does this get passed? How does this get passed? Especially when I'm watching the same video. Sorry to keep blabbing, but this shit is crazy.
Well, this is the thing, right? So
Majority didn't even vote to like this. They did a survey.
Yeah, and they said
Right?
no. And they said no. So Georgia was won by Biden, a Democrat, and Georgia typically votes Republic. Like that's how much people didn't want Trump to win. You understand what I'm saying? So what they did right away was they said, all right, cool. The next time, we need to make sure we never lose Georgia again. So we need to start making it as difficult as possible for these niggas to win again. And this is what they did. This is insane. This is crazy. So again, you know, because I say it a lot, and I'll continue to say it. I don't want to go to the States, and I know when Americans hear it, they're probably like, fuck this guy. But it has nothing to do with you. You know, it has nothing to do with the people that inhabit that country, like the general people like me and you, the common folk. You guys are amazing people. I've been to the States before, obviously. You guys are super, super hospitable, especially in the South. Well, certain parts of the South. But it's the government. It's the politics. It's the police. That's the part I have an issue with. And yes, I don't live there. I can't vote there. But I'm just saying, what if I'm just whipping through? Whoop whoop. No, I don't wanna. I don't want to march in my name. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want to be on a T-shirt. I'm cool. I'm good. But this is fucked up.
What I need is anybody that's watching this that's from the States, which is majority of the people that watch our videos. Please help me to understand how this bill gets passed so quickly. First of all,
oh my gosh, in a day.
Right, so quickly, first of all. But then, as far as I understand, in order for bills to get passed, the Republicans and the Democrats have to vote on them, and then it has to go up to this, and then there's a smaller group that has, and it has to be unanimous. Please, if you're from the U.S., please help me to understand if I'm wrong on that. But that's as far as I understand. And if that happened in less than a day, I'm very confused because there's multiple channels it has to go through.
Also, think about how determined they were, and also think about other bills that need to get passed that can actually impact and help fellow Americans, other Americans that they just sleep on, but they just sped this right through.
I'm glad the U.S. loves us, man. I'm really glad the U.S. loves us because they always help us to clarify these situations in the U.S. that we don't understand, and I'm hoping that somebody will help me to understand. I'm dead ass. I really hope somebody helps me to, because this is terrifying.
Yeah, man. Leave it in the comments. Break it down for us, man. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And for all the people in Georgia, man, I'm praying for y'all. I
said the same thing that Sharon Osbourne said. So.
Yeah, so what did she get fired or no? She quit because of, I guess, some a heated conversation that they had on March 10th. She brought one of her co-workers apparently to tears from the talk, And I guess there was other talks about her saying racist things, I guess behind the scenes and all that.
Former co-host came out and said comments that they've heard that she said and stuff like that too.
Yeah, and I guess like this all stemmed from her defending Piers Morgan, and here we are. So why are you so enthusiastic to see how I respond to this?
Because exactly what Sharon Osbourne said as far as her argument is exactly the same way that you feel.
Okay, so please surmise that for me. What did you say?
Your stance, I believe, was that he has a right to his opinion. He has a freedom of speech, whether you agree with everything that he said or not. Because she even said, did I agree with everything he said? No, but I feel that he has a right to say what he feels, just like we have a right to say what we feel on this show. And she goes that she feels that she's going to be attacked because she is defending somebody now who is her friend, and people are going to see her as racist because of what she said. Now, Cheryl's response is, what you're ignoring is, it's not what the question that she said to Cheryl was, show me an example of Piers Morgan being racist. These are all things you said. Am I wrong so far? Or?
I never said that. Oh, what?
Okay. I want to clarify for anybody who didn't see the video from before.
Because you were saying that Piers Morgan is racist, and it's not just that segment that we watched where he was talking about the interview with Oprah. You're like, he said other things. So I said, okay, things. Well then, what was there? And then
show me. Go
ahead.
Right. So what Cheryl said was pretty much what I was saying, and it's not necessarily what he says. What I said was, look how defensive he gets when he's accused of such a thing. Nobody gets that defensive when they're accused of something that's not true. If I sat here and I said, Chris, I think you're super, super fat, you're going to look at me with that face that you have on right there. Why? Because you don't feel like you're super, super fat. It doesn't offend you. But when you feel like something might be a little bit true, if you did feel that in your heart, or you might have felt like you're a little bit overweight, that would have been offensive, what I just said to you. His reaction to certain things and his choice of stories and how he says certain things is where I feel the racism is hidden in him. He knows he's on TV. He's not stupid. He's not going to say something to jeopardize his career because he knows the world that he lives in. But sometimes you can't hide who you really are. And that's the point that Cheryl was trying to make. And Sharon was just not trying to hear that. Oh, I'm racist, oh, this and that. And even she's like, Cheryl, don't you dare cry. If anybody should be crying, it should be me, because I'm about to be attacked. And the reason you're about to be attacked, Sharon, is because you choose to ignore those things. And you want to stick to this one section, this one little box area, and give a man the freedom of speech, which is true. That everybody should have their freedom of speech, but not if their speech is passing subliminal hate on a consistent basis. That's all. That's why I think she got terrorized the way she did. My personal opinion.
Well, look, I'm an arbiter of freedom of speech. I believe that you have the right to voice your own opinion, apart from inciting violence and hate. As far as the content that I seen that we both viewed, where Piers Morgan was responding to the interview with Markle and Harry and Oprah, I thought he was respectful. I'm talking about that segment that I've seen. I don't watch him all the time.
Right.
I'm talking about that specific segment. I thought he was respectful. He was just giving his opinion. You said that the way Piers Morgan reacts, like his reaction is so, it's not nonchalant. Like if it wasn't true, you'd be like, whatever. But at the end of the day, like you said, he's on TV. You know what I mean? And you say something like, oh, Chris, if I called you fat, like, you wouldn't care. Or maybe you would care if it bothered you. Being called fat and also being called racist are two very different things. Especially if you're on TV, on the national stage, right? So personally, if it was me, I would just be like, nope. I probably wouldn't even react. You know what I mean? I'd probably ignore it. Or
Right.
I don't know what my reaction would be, but I certainly wouldn't be up in arms because I know it's not true, and anybody who knows me knows it's not true. But guess
Right.
what? Pierce probably feels the exact same way. I can't say whether or not he's racist. All I can say is the segment where he was, responding to that interview, it didn't seem racist to me. So but anything else that he did I don't know, I don't know him like that, but for that
Right.
specific thing I can't say that he was being racist. And furthermore, just again to go back on your point that you were trying to make as far as how he reacts when he is being accused of racist,
Okay.
he's probably heard that so many times, right? And whether it's true or not, if you keep on hearing that from people keep on accusing you, it's eventually gonna bother you, especially when you're in the public eye.
Right.
You do your show, you say your piece, switch the channel. Pierce is this. Pierce said this. Open up a magazine. Pierce this. Pierce this. Go on your timeline. Pierce this. Pierce this. What the fuck? I'm not racist. Why do they keep saying this about me? It'll start eating away at you. You know what I mean?
I was honestly hoping that you would make that point, because that point is not valid. Because if you have people who have never met each other before, who meet you, but they don't know each other, they've never seen your personality before, they meet you at different times in your life, and they all accuse you of doing the same thing, such as when we spoke about T.I., it could have been a scandal when it was those first few girls. You know what I mean? Because remember we spoke about it, there was a stripper involved too. It's just like, it's don't want to shame the sex workers, but it's kind of hard to believe that a stripper, didn't want to, But then when the other 6 ladies came out, then it was like, now we're at a bigger number. All of these ladies are lying? A little bit harder to believe. Same thing in this case.
Oh, it's different though.
You have multiple people at different times who have similar reactions to who this person is.
Yeah, it's different though.
Based on their interaction. It's the exact same thing. Based on their interaction with them, they have the same story about the person. They have come out of the situation with the same story about that person. Their stories are very
hold on
similar.
for a second. What are we talking about?
Because those girls all got sexually abused,
right?
So
Yeah,
they entered the situation at different times. They all met T.I. and Tiny at different times, and they all came out with stories that were.
But how does that
similar
parallel
about those
translate to
people.
Piers Morgan?
Because there's people in his life that he has met at different times who do not know each other, who are not related, who are accusing him of the same thing. You don't see how they're related?
I do see how they're related. So what you're trying to tell me is there are people who have had interactions with him that walked away from that interaction and said this guy's racist.
Not just one; it could have been multiple. But at the end of the day,
I'm asking you: do you know that as a fact? There's been multiple people.
There's been other. I know that for a fact. There has been other people, celebrities, and people who have come out and have said that they felt that Piers Morgan was racist
based on interactions they've had with him.
These are celebrities.
Hold on for a second. No, but there's a difference here, because your T.I. example is these women had interactions with T.I. So if you want to make the parallel with Piers, did these celebrities hear some shit Piers said?
These are people who have been what show? What was that talent show that the homeboy wasn't he on a judge for one of those talent shows? One of those times?
I have no idea.
Okay. Well, I hope somebody does know, and I'm pretty sure he was a judge on one of those talent shows, and there were multiple people on those talent shows who have come out and have said that they felt they agree that they feel that he is.
So wait a second. So now the people who are if he was on one of these shows,
that's one situation that I know of.
If he was on this show where he's judging talent, so are we talking about people who were hosting the show with him, who didn't have a dog in the... I'm just trying to ask a question. Hold on for a second.
But you keep digging and diving into different details.
Listen, it's not simple. I'm trying to understand something. So are you talking about these are co-hosts of the show with him that said this, or contestants who were on the show?
I just told you there's people that hosted the show with the man.
Okay.
That had interactions with him, that have come out and said these things. There's people who have been on his show. There's people that have met him at parties. I'm not these celebrities, so I don't know the full interaction of what they're going through. But the fact that they have come out and said these things is enough. It's How am I to know where they met him, how long they met him for, whatever. The fact that there's multiple people coming out with these things is enough. I don't know where all those girls met T.I. I don't know where they met him either, but they all came out with the same story. So what am I supposed to do? I don't believe it because they might have not had the interaction with him. Come on, Chris. If it's enough to accuse somebody of it and it comes out from multiple sources that are not related to each other, it's hard not to believe. That's all I'm saying. It's hard not to believe that. If one or two people said it, we might be having a different conversation. So,
look, man, I'm a person where, you know what they say, you gotta see it to believe it.
I know you got it. Listen, there's one interview if you want to go watch it. It wasn't long, but this man was on TV and he literally went ching chong ching ching to describe an Asian person. Those were the words, ching chong ching, to describe an Asian person. So that was a brief slip that he had on air, and I couldn't find honestly anything else on air to say that he said anything else, but that was it. So that's not enough for you.
And by the way, when he does that, we're not trying to offend anyone. He's just trying to make a point.
That is, you can go back and search it yourself. That is what he said. So I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm just trying to quote the man. So if that's not enough for you, sir, that's fine. That's fine. But
so
it did happen. You
Piers
can see
Morgan,
it to believe it.
Piers Morgan, in your words, is racist.
And the words of many other people, yes.
Well, I gotta see it in order to believe it.
I don't know what the other people think. I don't know what people watching this think. You know, I'm sure there's people that are on your side. They probably need to see it to believe it. There's people that feel the same way Sharon Osbourne feels. There's other people like myself who know that Sharon Osbourne is a very old British white lady. So that comes with a lot. I'm not going to say what that means.
Oh, so that's racist.
You pretty much get where I'm going.
So that's racist.
We had a conversation about the royal family being racist. So let's not go there.
I never said that.
You could tag that video so everybody could see how you spoke about that.
Yeah, of course. I bet else get tagged. And
they're old British people.
I never said that. What I said was there's definitely racism in that family. And then you took that pony and you rode it all the way home.
Yeah, I knew it was gonna come back to me somehow. I knew you were gonna take it back to me somehow. Okay, anyway.
That's what you did. But, anyways, viewing public, what are your thoughts here? Should Sharon, what's her name? Sharon Osbourne.
Osbourne.
I was gonna call her Sharon Stone. Should
oh my God.
That right? That would
have been the second thing that we knew that she was in.
Should Sharon Osbourne be hung out to dry here for defending her friend? It's like honestly, man, these are people I don't even give a shit about. I don't care about them. I'm just a person who believes in freedom of speech as long as it's not hateful, racist, and inciting violence. If these people are doing these things, then fuck them. Fuck them. You know what I mean? Take them off the air. Do whatever you want to do to them. Fuck them. I'm not here for it. But at the same time, like, who do we leave it up to? Do we leave it up? This is what I'm saying. Like, when you said what he said about what the Asian slur, if there was Asians who were just mortified by this, which I'm sure there was, right? Then okay, I'm down for it. But I'm not okay with fucking Wesley Snipes over here talking about, oh, you know, that's offensive. That's offensive. How do you know it's offensive? It may not have meant shit to them. You know what I'm saying?
We live in Canada. This happened in England, so it might, and this happened a while ago. So it might have been something that did blow up, and we just never heard about it.
This is what I'm saying.
You calling me Wesley Snipes? Don't make me take your $5 ass and make some change. All right, don't do that. Call me Wesley Snipes.
But this is what I'm saying. Like people like sometimes like people like to just make a big deal out of nothing, and I'm not saying this is nothing. All I'm saying is, if the race or the group of people who are being offended isn't even offended, what are we talking about?
Well, that's not the situation we are talking about, because black people were offended, and they're offended by Piers Morgan. So if it applied here, then I would hear what you're saying, but it doesn't apply here. So let's not forget that.
Viewing public, what are your thoughts here? Is Piers a racist? Does he have?
Were there signs? Are there signs that Piers Morgan could be a racist, and we're just choosing to ignore them?
Does he have Nazi memorabilia in his home?
See, why you got to take my serious question and then follow it up with that bullshit, man?
Has he ever stopped you from getting a loan? Prevented you from living somewhere?
I could not stand you sometimes.
Has he done these things? Or is he maybe just super hella ignorant and insensitive? There's a difference, you know. You have to know that, right? You have to know that.
I'm going to follow what you're doing right now.
Okay, so
I got my question.
What are your thoughts, people? I'll go ahead. Ask the viewing public what.
No, I already got my question out, man. Were there signs? Are we ignoring the signs? Am I wrong?
Are we ignoring the signs?
Not we, me. You are clear where you stand.
Is he ignoring the signs?
Right.
Drake said he applied for a bank loan. Pierce showed up out of the back office and said, "Hell no, the sky is too dark for our money." This is what he said. This is what he told me.
Yeah.
Leave it in the comments, man. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Dishes. Thank you guys so much for watching that video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe.
Yo, Chris, we got to 200 subscribers, man. Finally. You know what I'm saying? But we don't want to stop there. We have a new goal. The new goal is 500 subscribers. So what I need you to do, I need you to like these videos over here. I need you to subscribe right here, man. Two guys doing the podcast, man.